video is for our 6th grade math class, and we are on lesson 111 today. Now you'll notice that we've skipped a few lessons. Don't worry about those ones. I skipped those just because with all the triangles and the comparison and stuff, it would be really hard to show you that on video. So we're skipping up to lesson 111, applications using division. Okay, so let's look at this. When a division problem has a remainder, there are several ways to write the answer. We can write the answer with a remainder. We can also write the answer as a mixed number or as a decimal number. So we have the examples there. If we divide 15 by 4, we're left with a remainder of 3. So our answer with the remainder would be 3 remainder of 3. If we write the remainder as a fraction, remember we take the remainder and we put it over the divisor, and that is our fraction. Because remember, our fraction bar indicates division, so we're showing that the remainder, 3, is still being divided by the divisor, 4. So 15 divided by 4 would be 3 3/4. Or we could write our remainder as a decimal. And we could find that either by turning our fraction to a decimal or by adding our decimal point in zeros and continuing our division. So 15 divided by 4 as a decimal answer would be 3.75. Sometimes we need to round an answer up, and sometimes we need to round an answer down. The quotient of 15 divided by 4 would round up to 4 and down to 3. How a division answer should be written depends on the question that we are trying to answer. So let's look at example 1. 100 students are to be assigned to 3 classrooms. How many students should be in each class so that the numbers are as balanced as possible? Now, if we divide 100 by 3, that gives us 33 1/3 students per class, which is impractical. We can't exactly have 1/3 of a student. You're either a whole student or you're non-existent. So assigning 33 students per class makes 99 students. We add the remaining student to one of the classes, giving that class 34 students. So we would write the answer as 33, 33, and 34. That would be the practical assigning of students to class to make the numbers as balanced as possible. Example 2, movie tickets cost $4. Those are nice cheap tickets. Wonder where they're going to see a movie. Jim has $15. How many tickets can he buy? We'll divide $15 by $4 per ticket. The quotient that we get is 3 3/4 tickets. Now, can you buy 3/4 of a ticket? The practical answer to that is no. You can't say, oh, well, look at this. I have enough money for 3 3/4 of a ticket. So why don't you give me 3 whole tickets and then rip off the 4th one and give me 3/4 of it? That's useless. So since he cannot buy 3/4 of a ticket, we would round down to the nearest whole number. He can buy 3 tickets. Now notice that we're not rounding up for this. We can't round it up to 4 and say that he can buy 4 tickets because truthfully, he cannot buy 4 tickets. He doesn't have enough money for 4 whole tickets. So we'll round it down and say that he can buy 3 tickets. Example 3, 15 children need a ride to the fair. Each car can transport 4 children. How many cars are needed to transport 15 children? We'll divide 15 children by 4 children per car. The quotient is 3 3/4 cars. Now, we cannot have 3/4 of a car, just like we cannot have 3/4 of a ticket or 1/3 of a student. So, 4 cars are going to be needed because 3 cars will not be enough. So in this case, we are going to round up to 4 cars. One of the cars will be 3/4 full. So we'll round 3 3/4 cars up to 4 cars, since that is what will be needed. Example 4, 4 workers were paid a total of $15 for cleaning a yard. If the workers divide the money equally, how much money will each worker receive? Well, first of all, they should probably work for someone who pays them a little bit more money than that, but they seem pretty obsessed with 15 divided by 4 here. So We'll divide $15 by 4 workers. This time, we write the quotient as a decimal number because we're talking about money here. So $15 divided by 4 workers equals $3.75 per worker. Now we don't need to round anything here because they're dividing everything exactly between them. So each worker will receive $3.75. Now, let's look at practice A so that we can see a number that's different from 15 and 4. And we can see what they do here. So letter A, 90 students were assigned to 4 classrooms as equally as possible. How many students were in each of the 4 classrooms? So we'll set up our problem and we are going to divide 90 students by 4 classrooms. So let's make sure we see this here. We'll have 90. Right angle in this marker. Okay, 90 divided by 4, and that is extremely messy. So I'm going to write that again. Let's see here. Okay. All right, there we go. 90 divided by 4. So if we do our division, 4 goes into 9, 2 times, this is 8, 2, bring 0. Oh, no, I'm doing that wrong. Okay, 1, there, what do we do there? 4 goes into 10, also 2 times, subtracting 8, there we go. So, we have 22 with a remainder of 2, or we could have 22 and create our fraction. Now our fraction here, we take 2 and put it over 4. 2/4, we know, reduces to 1/2. So our answer could also be 22 and 1/2. Can't see that there. Or it could be our decimal, which would be 22.5. Now, can we have half of a student in a classroom? We know that we cannot. Can't cut a student in half and put 1/2 in one classroom, 1/2 in another. That would not work out. So, to answer how many students would be in each of the 4 classrooms, we would round down to 22. And if we have 4 classrooms of 22 students, multiply 22 times 4, we would get 88 students. Now 88 is 2 less than what we need of 90. So that means that the practical breakdown of our classrooms, we would have 2 classrooms at 22 students each, and we would have 2 classrooms at 23 students each. So that would be the practical breakdown of our class numbers, making each classroom as balanced as possible. So you can see how we're doing it here. We're dividing our total number by our parts here. And then for this kind of problem, we'll round down and then we'll find the numbers that are missing. So in this case, 4 times 22 students, 4 classrooms times 22 students gives us 88 students, and we need to add 1 student to each classroom, or 1 student to 2 classrooms in order to get up to 90 students. So 22, 22, 23, and 23 would be each of our 4 classrooms. So make sure that you complete the rest of these practice problems. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. I am here to help and get your homework done there. Have a great rest of your day.